Amen and amen. I'll go ahead and move this for you so you'll have room there. So Barbara's going to be giving us her drush today.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Give you a little funny story before I begin. This morning I was trying to remember the blessings, and I shared this with Jackie. So I was in the shower trying to remember the blessings, and I'm doing one. And I'm like, Barb, that's the blessing for wine. I'm like, oh dear, I don't want to get up here and give the blessing for wine. But yeah, so I just wanted to share it. The things that go through your head on the mornings you have to give drosh and what happens. So this parsha is, Garrett, can you, is it Re'eh? So that is what my drosh is on this week. So this Sunday evening, tomorrow evening at sundown, we enter the holiest period of the year on the Jewish calendar, the month of Elul. Elul is the Hebrew month that precedes the high holy days in the last month of the Jewish calendar. It is a time of intense reflection, introspection, and reconciliation. It is a period in time in which our we turn inwards towards ourselves and pay attention to what we seem to forget the rest of the year. Just hang with me. I'm going to get there how this ties in, okay? So as I was studying for this drosh, it led me to study more about the month of Elul. As being a new walker or babe in this walk, I have learned about Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. And each year I learn a little bit more, and it becomes more personal and more meaningful. And perhaps along the way I had heard about the month of Elul, but I did not know the significance. I didn't remember it. So I started studying a little bit about it to find out more about the traditions and customs that occur. And here are some of the customs that occur during the month of Elul, and it's to help prepare ourselves and souls for the high holy days that are coming quickly upon us. The first one, blowing the shofar. The shofar is traditionally blown each morning, except Shabbat, from the first day of Elul until the day before Rosh Hashanah. It is sounded to awaken the soul and kickstart the spiritual accounting that happens throughout the month. And the second one are special prayers and services. I'm not sure how to say this one. Can you? The Shlichot service is conducted. That's a service in the wee hours of the morning, and it draws from many biblical verses and rabbinic teachings. It serves as a soul-stirring introduction to the days of awe. The third is visiting loved ones' graves. This is a time of year which Jewish people traditionally visit graves of loved ones. They remind them of the individuals that came before them and honor their memory. But it also prompts them to think about their own lives and the legacies they will leave to others. Another custom is reading Psalms 27. The custom is to read Psalms 27 each day from the beginning of Elul through Hashan Rabbah, the last day of Sukkot. And then the fifth one, reflecting. During this month, one is encouraged to study and take time for personal reflection around our actions of the past year and seek forgiveness for those we have wronged. So keeping all that in mind, it seems fitting that our Torah portion this Shabbat begins with the single word, see. Deuteronomy 11:26 says, see, I am setting before you today a blessing and a curse. See, says the verse, I give you the possibility of choice. Pay attention to them. They matter. Every single one of them, no matter how inconsequential, can be a blessing or a curse. We are given an illustration by the topography in this portion. After Adonai makes the offer of blessing and curses and the Israelites enter the land, God instructs them to split into two groups. One group will stand on the slopes of Mount Gerizim. It has nice greenery, it's growing, and that's the mountain of blessings. And the other on Mount Ebal, which is barren and dry, and that's the curses. So every day we live in this valley of possibilities, although we may not always see it. Every day we make countless moral choices, ethical, spiritual choices. We can choose to throw the trash on the ground or put it in the trash bin. We can have road rage when we get cut off by someone or calmly go on. We can yell at our spouses and children, not meaning to. We can ignore those that are needy, or we can help. Every day the choices we make is going to depend on what mountain we choose to look at, what we choose to say amen to. But it's not just our looking that matters during the month of Elul. It's also our listening. As I mentioned, the blowing of the shofar each morning is intended to wake us from our apathy, from our usual modes of being, to warn us that the year is ending, the gates are closing. In a few short weeks, we're going to look into the mirror that is Yom Kippur and be asked to account for our choices, our blessings and our curses, those we have given and those we have brought upon ourselves and others. Right now, for the next 4 weeks, we still have time to evaluate and look closely and choose blessings. And then one last tradition that begins the first week of Elul is that each day of Elul, the synagogue warden, and I asked Andy, I said, Andy, what's a synagogue warden? When I hear warden, I think of a prison warden. And he says, the synagogue warden is someone that keeps everything flowing, everything going. And he said, Alan, you're that person. But anyway, the synagogue warden will stand outside the door of the congregation and greet congregants or passing Jews with this sentence, "Return, wayward son." This call is not about returning to the synagogue. It's about teshuvah, returning to ourselves, returning to holiness, to godliness, to make ourselves right in the presence of Adonai. So, in conclusion, this month of Elul reminds us the possibility of change is ever present, that we can always look at our lives, listen to what he is telling us, and turn to his blessings. Celebrating the high holidays is a mitzvah. We are ordered to do it. We are commanded. I can simply see Adonai just doing a happy dance when he sees his children celebrating his feast and preparing themselves in a meaningful way. Start somewhere. Take it from me, who's very new, who was stubborn